Let us now look at big data. This is there for maybe about a decade now. So let's look at the big data. So big data, if you look at it, it uses the image over here. It requires actually multiple tools and services to actually use big data. To make it meaningful. So it needs to use data, that is the database, and we'll see different sources will be there. Why cloud computing? Because there is voluminous data and you need infrastructure to store it, and data filtering, data share, data analysis. So all this could be involved in big data. That is where what is represented in the picture over here. So what are its benefits? What are its advantages? A business being so dynamic, the business can utilize outside intelligence for taking decisions. What are the outside intelligence? Almost 100% of the companies will still store the meaningful information in a database, which is a relational database, be it a sales information or be it in a purchase information. All that data is stored in the relational database. But in the last 10 to 15 years, there are outside data which is also generated in social media and all. They provide comments about the company and the company products, and that needs to be effectively used. So that's where it is called the outside intelligence, using outside data to make decisions. There might be some comments about the product, maybe a car manufacturer. They could have even in YouTube, they would have they would analyze the feature of that product, or through the video files, or through the audio files, or through the Facebook. So those needs to be analyzed, and that's where it is called, the data is so huge, that's where it is called the big data. They got to utilize this to take decisions. So that is the biggest advantage. Improved customer surveys, a byproduct of the first one. Easy identification of risk in the products and services, if any, whether modifications can be made to the product to suit the market. So that can be derived out through the big data processing. And better operational efficiency. All this is a kind of a byproduct from the first one. Business can utilize the outside intelligence in taking the decision, because generally companies till about a decade or so back, they were restricting to the data which is available in their own internally through their database, relational database. Who is the customer, who is top customer, they analyze and provide you with the incentives. But now you need to look out for the data which is available externally in the social media to derive out or to take meaningful decisions. So that is where big data processing is used. So as stated, the collection of data set is so large and complex that it is difficult to process using on-hand database management tools or traditional data processing application. That is why big data is used. Big data is the data whose scale and diversity complexity requires new architecture. That's where you need to utilize cloud. Even times maybe in the future you need to use machine learning, new architecture techniques, algorithm to analyze, to manage it and extract value and hidden knowledge from it. Because so voluminous data, there is some information available. A business needs to effectively use those unknown information which is residing in the outside world to derive out meaningful or to make meaningful decisions. And again, why it's happening? That is because due to internet, the source of are multiple as well. There are information available, but there are multiple sources of information available as of now. And again, Facebook, maybe if you look at 20 years before, and there were no Facebook. And single jet engine. Earlier we were using electromechanical devices, and that didn't. Now with so many technologies like IoT and all, data output from a sensor can be sent across to the cloud. So a single jet engine can generate terabytes of data in 30 minutes, and these data can be analyzed. Probably you can take up for predictive maintenance of the aircraft. So that is where it is important as well. So again, if you look at the data type, there are three different data type, and that is important as well. Because the structured data which is available in the relational database, you don't have any issues. You can just write SQL queries. What we are in a big data, what we are more concerned is the unstructured data, the output from a Google search or output in the Facebook. or output in Twitter, or output in LinkedIn, and so many sources are there. So how do we, there are so much of data, how does a company, because and again, you might have a Facebook page, you could have a LinkedIn page, you could have a page in Google, so many pages are there. So there are going to be comments which is passed on in the company's page as well. So those needs to be, or LinkedIn feed also. So those needs to be, data needs to be collated, filtered, and then analysis needs to be done. So big data revolves around the second one, the unstructured data, but you can always use all this data in big data and then derive out meaningful metrics. Semi-structured, XML, JSON, EDA output data as per the defined, this is not unstructured data because it is based on protocol, the XMLs, JSONs or EDA output. So that's about the data types are important, and what is most difficult and complex is to get the unstructured data process. That is the most difficult one. And now if you look at the characteristics and why it is unstructured data is difficult, again is because of the volume it generates. As we have seen, the Facebook can generate terabytes, not just Facebook. Now there are others as well, like LinkedIn, or it could be a video in YouTube. And velocity, high velocity, it comes with every 5 minutes or every 10 minutes you have so much of velocity. Variety, again as we discussed, could be from social network, different social network. And finally values. Again, if you're going to depend just on the traditional model of a database, it takes time because a customer has to lodge a complaint and that needs to be taken up by a customer service executive, and there need to be a touch point, manual touch point, and finally they enter. This is going to take time. Now these days, when the product is not good and when they want to comment, they will just generally people tend to host it on the social network, be it LinkedIn or be it Facebook, say that I had so much of challenges. And normally it is for the company. There are teams which looks out of the social network to respond as well as and when needed, and they take it up with the internal team. And that way you are not missing out any customer. That is where it gives a value proposition as well. So the characteristics of big data is important as well. And this is little bit technical. I'll not go deep into it. There are different tools which can use this unstructured data. Cassandra, Hadoop is most commonly used. They use distributed because there are terabytes of data. They use Hadoop distributed file system, and they distribute this data, and then they do a kind of a map reduce to compress it, something like this one. If you have some kind of this is just an example. There could be a big file which has find out for a particular critical words in it. So that's a kind of a pattern you are looking at, and then reduce it to look out for the pattern, and then do the analysis of that data. So map reduce is again that is common in Hadoop, and then perform the appropriate analysis. So that's in a nutshell about the big data. The point to remember here is how you can process the unstructured data to derive out meaningful information towards the building up of companies' welfare. So that's about big data. Thank you.